Hello and welcome to a new Rush Hour episode of Trains App, and the first one for 2022, and we kick off the Rush Hour series at Bletchley on the West Coast Mainline, and one of the ends of the Marston Vale line. We're seeing services from London Northwestern Railway, Avanti West Coast, Southern, and with any luck, some freight as well. There is 230.005 that will be working the 1705 London Northwestern Railway service to Bedford, and here be a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s that will work in the 1647 London Northwestern Railway service from Northampton to London Euston. The new station here at Bletchley is slowly taking shape. You can probably just make it out behind the trees. The flyover is, I think, all but there. They've probably got a few more little bits of tinkering to do. The main platform for Bletchley on the east-west route is, yeah, it's coming along quite well. So it'll be interesting to see how busy Bletchley gets once that is all up and running. So here goes the 1647 London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. 350-265 is on the rear of this little jaunt. I haven't got a clue what was at the front. So, with that lovely pocket of information being distilled upon you, let us see what else shall turn up. Here we have 39136 working an Avanti West Coast service from London Euston to somewhere up north. I may as well not bothered pausing, because the minute I paused, that turned up. So, yeah, I'll get myself sorted, get all my relevant bits of information put together, and then I'll be able to make some sort of vaguely professional film. I say professional in the loosest possible term. Okay, as I almost fall over. God knows how, but there we are. We have incoming now the 1650 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Northampton, worked by a trio of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s. No, it's a duo. No, is it? Yeah, it is a duo, you blithering moron. Can you count? No, not really. Fair play. Right, leader proceedings is 35121. I shall get the rear when she departs. Don't ask me why I rolled the R on that one, I just did. It works. Okay, well, it's 39121 rattles past, bound for London. About ready to go now will be the 1650 London Northwestern Railway service to Northampton. The first 390 was going to Manchester. On the rear is former Transpennine 350-405. I've had a little look-see, and I don't actually think Southern are running today. So, you won't be seeing services from Southern, so no 377s will be making an appearance. Okay then, the next train to pass by is going to be a pair of Avanti West Coast 221 Super Voyagers, working a service from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. 39121 was going from Glasgow to London. So there goes 221117 and 221113. And round the bend now will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. Not exactly breaking the sound barrier, although a nice spark from the pantograph. And that is worked by 39151. Okay, the next train to make an appearance is going to be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino going from London Euston to Glasgow Central. $391.37 with the honours for that one. Okay, the next train drive is going to be the 1700 London Northwestern Railway service from Milton Keynes Central to London Euston. And it's worked by a pair of Class 350s. I have no doubt at some point a trio will make an appearance, but for now on we're getting duos. So, leading proceedings is 350-236. With 350-263 bringing up the rear. As there we have, presumably another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s. They are working as service from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. Again, about ridge of the part now will be the 1700 London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. Little bit of paint flickering off near the window, on both sides it seems. Okay then, our first freight train of the evening is going to be a trio of Royal Mail Class 325s going from Willesden to Shieldmere. So leading the way is 325-004. With 001 and 011 for good company. And then we will have a Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendino passing by, going from Blackpool North to London Euston. Worked by 390-009. Sparking quite nicely as well. Okay, and about ridge of the part now will be 230-005 at the 1705 London Northwestern Railway service to Bedford. They do look good. Bit character to them. Alright then, the next train to pass by is going to be another pair of Avanti West Coast 221 Super Voyagers going from Holyhead to London Euston via Chester. (221-109) leading with 221-115 on the rear. We then have another Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendino going from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. Worked by 390-114. Giving it a fair amount of the beans. The beanometer, as we know it. Certain levels of beans are applied to various trains. I think we can say that one's giving it the full Heinz beans. It's a well-trusted source, you know. You look anywhere and every company that involves anything going fast uses the beanometer. You know, it's various degree of beans used to accurately measure someone's speed. Everybody does it. And don't let them tell you otherwise. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be another duo of Avanti West Coast 221 Super Voyagers going from London Euston to Edinburgh Waverley. So a good chance for the Voyagers to stretch their legs. So we had 221112 and 221110. It will be a shame to see them go. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but I quite like them. They're very comfortable to travel on, despite what loads of people say. Alrighty then, the next train to make an appearance will be a duo of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from London Euston all the way to Crewe. I know, I can hardly believe it myself. So we have 109 leading, and that's a 3 variation on the rear with a knackered door. Completely missed the number. Okay, the next train to pass by will be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s, put my teeth back in, going from Crewe to London. .401 leads and 129 brings up the rear. 401 of course being one of the former TransPennine 350s. Every train so far has sparked really well going underneath the flyover. Alright then, the next freight train to pass by is going to be worked by a GBRF Class 66 going from Birch Coppice to London Gateway. Fully loaded and with a right old mixture of colours. So then, giving it what for will be 66731. Suffice to say, she was not hanging about. And of course that had the thank you NHS on the side of the locomotive. Okay, the next train to pass under the flyover will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from London Euston to Glasgow Central. And that is worked by 390-006. If we do an about turn, we'll find incoming the 1727 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Birmingham New Street via Northampton, worked by a pair of Class 350s. Looks like the front one is still bearing its former London Midland colour scheme. It is indeed, as it is worked by 350-247. I shall grab the rear when she does her departing. Lovely job. Okay, the next train to arrive is going to be the 1729 London Northwestern Railway service from Northampton to London Euston, as the 1727 is now departing behind me, bound for Birmingham New Street via Northampton. So, leading this in is going to be 350-126, with 3/4 of a door. And on the rear is 350-261. And on the rear of the Birmingham bound service is 350-107. And then we will find 390-043 racing north with an Avanti West Coast service from London Euston to Liverpool Lime Street. Okay, about ready to depart now will be the 1729 London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. Don't know if you can tell, but just at the bottom of that door, there's a feather. So at some stage or another, one of our feathery friends has come a cropper to the front of a 350. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be a Freightliner 66 going from London Gateway to Garston. And she's giving it a fair amount of welly and all. 66,508. And then we'll have another Freightliner 66 going from Trafford Park Euroterminal to Felixstowe North, followed by an Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Liverpool Lime Street to London Euston. So the 390 is 390,040, and then the 66 will be 66,529. Certainly giving it what for. Kicked. As soon as the 66 went past me, I just got pelted by this wind. As the train went past, not a problem, but as the loco hit me, my word. Certainly giving it some, but not the fullest load I've ever seen. Okay, about to pass through now is going to be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. Sparking like a good one. And that is worked by 390,129. Really is sparking like a good one. Go on, girl. Okay, the next freight train to pass by is going to be led by is going to be led by another Freightliner Class 66 going from Felixstowe North to Lawley Street. And there'll be a 390 passing by, bound for Manchester Piccadilly. So here we have 66,505. And that's 390,115. A couple of proper battered Maersk containers. Wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, the next train to make its presence known will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Glasgow to London. And that'll be worked by 390,124. Wait for the sparks. There they go. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Birmingham New Street to London Euston, complete with a dead pigeon at the front. And that is worked by 390,138. Oh look, and there's the feather. Oh. So, it's a running gag. Every film I do, there's a pigeon involved. And even at this station where there are no pigeons, there are crows, but there are no pigeons. And what turns up? A ruddy pigeon. Okay, granted, it's becoming a hood ornament on front of a 390. Still counts. I should do a tally of the amount of pigeons that I get per video per station that I go to. Okay, the next train to turn up is going to be the 1747 London Northwestern Railway service from Northampton to London Euston. The 1745 to Milton Keynes Central is delayed, no reason given, so that'll turn up at some stage. So, here we have 350,405. Saw you earlier. On the rear, B121. Not a great many people on board. Lovely. Okay then, about ready to depart is going to be the 1747 London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. The Milton Keynes service is delayed by 7 minutes. Oh. Yep, subsequently the 1750s delayed. Because interestingly enough, and popped up on the old announcement EOZs, don't know what that was, and said that the next fastest direct service is now expected to be the 1750. So now it isn't, because that's now delayed because of the 1745. It's all good fun, isn't it? Alrighty then, the next train to make an appearance will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. Worked by 390-154. Okay, the next freight train to pass by is going to be worked by another Freightliner Class 66 going from Diston O'Connor to Felixstowe North. Decent length and plenty of colour on board. So then, giving it what for will be 66,536. Fair amount of wind kicked up there. If we do an about turn, we'll find incoming 230-003 with a very late running service from Bedford. Once everyone has got off, this will then be running back to Bletchley TMD. It's also worth noting that there's a couple of 730s parked up there. And there's a Collisrail Tampa parked up at Bletchley and all. Right, back over this way we'll find incoming the late-running 1745 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Milton Keynes Central, worked by a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s. Leading the way is 352-38. I will get the rear when she goes. Okay, then parting is the late-running 1745 London Northwestern Railway service to Milton Keynes Central. On the rear is 350-375. Doing an about turn, we will find an Avanti West Coast 390. 390-010 working a service from London Euston all the way to Glasgow Central. Okay, the next freight train to pass by is going to be worked by another GBRF Class 66 going from Trafford Park Euroterminal GBRF to Felixstowe North GBRF. 66,716. They are really not hanging about going through here. I love seeing freight trains at speed. Again, coming in 5 minutes late will be the 1750 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Northampton. With an exceptionally bright front light. So, leading the way will be 352.33. I will then get the rear 2 sets when she departs. Squeaky brakes. Again, heading off to oh my god. Try again. Heading off to Bletchley TMD. There we go. Is 230.003. Not exactly going at breakneck speeds on the old acceleration front there. Pedestrian, I think we'll say. That just about covers it. Okay then, and now departing is the late running 1750 London Northwestern Railway service to Northampton. Up there will be a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. 350-112 is in the middle of this lot, with 108 on the rear. Here we have 352.67 going very slow. It's stopping? Really? Okay. What? He's not unlocked the doors. I'm just looking at the guard here. No, the power's on inside the train, so that's not an issue. Oh, no, we're... Oh, okay, we're off. Ah. I can see a reflection in the train. It looks like somebody hopped off. No, they couldn't have done, because the guard had to unlock the doors. Okay, well, 1, 2, 3 is on the rear of that. Alright then, that was a strange one. Oh well, there we are then. A little bit of drama on this Thursday evening. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. Words by 390.042. Okay, and then immediately after that will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. Behind me will be a DB Cargo UK Class 66 going from Dollonsmore to Daventry. Let us do the about turn. Here she be. 66.082. rattling and wobbling and just creating a bit of a racket. Okay, the next train to make an appearance is going to be the 1803 London Northwestern Railway service from Milton Keynes Central to London Euston. So, coming back down is 350-375. With 238 now bringing up the rear. Could do with a bit of a clean. And could do with a few more people inside as well, because that is... There's one person in this rear carriage. That's it. Okay, as the autofocus does its own thing. About ready to depart now will be the 1803 London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. Couple of nice sparks there. Alrighty then, I may as well have not bothered, because passing through now will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 from Edinburgh to London. Worked by 390-153. And wait for the sparks. There we go. Always guaranteed underneath there. I'm a sucker for a spark. Okie dokie, the next train to come herring along will be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from London Euston to Glasgow Central. Worked by 390-008. And up to the north she goes. Okay, the next freight train to pass by is going to be another DB Cargo UK Class 66 going from Trafford Park Euroterminal to London Gateway DB Cargo. This has just the standard headlights to it, not the bright white LEDs, which makes me think this one might still be having its EWS branding to it. We'll find out in a moment. Certainly a decent load on board. So this will be 66-133. Wind picked up as well, as to be expected. Okay, our final train of the day is going to be a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s bound for Crewe. 106 and 102. May as well finish off with the other London Northwestern Railway service going from Crewe to London. Worked by 350-117. And 266. And as they both continue northwards and southwards, and I attempt to put my teeth back in, I shall leave it there. Thank you all very much for watching, it is greatly appreciated. If you have enjoyed what you see today, then please do like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment, I do get back to them as and when I get the opportunity to. I would normally stay, when I do rush hour videos, till about 7 PM, but the rest of the traffic for the next hour is all just passenger workings. Because the freight were running, all of them were actually running early. So the Trafford Park one I think was running about half hour early in the end. Trafford Park to DB Cargo was running half hour early anyway. There's no Donlandsmore, no you Burke, there's no Dagenham to Moss End car train. So yeah, that'll be that. Thoroughly enjoy staying here though, fantastic time, plenty of freight to be seen, plenty of passenger variety, not going to knock it. Where do I go next for a rush hour film? Doobie doobie doo. I haven't got the faintest idea. You must know, you must have an idea of where you want to go. Well, I have notions in my head, but whether or not those notions ever pay off, well, you know. Where do you want to go? I have no idea. Well, you've started your rush hour series, so you have to make this scene quite regular now. Yes, I know. Well, where do you want to go then? I will go to let's think of the time of year. I will go to Rugby. My next point will be Rugby. So, until next time, from me here at Bletchley, I might as well get these 350s. Oh, go on then. (257) and 240 bound for Northampton. So, until next time, from me here at Bletchley, I shall see you all later. Take care, guys. Goodbye.